Alright, how's it going, guys? We are back, and I have been doing a little bit more work on the railroad line here. I got it stretched way out down here, finally going both directions. I got this one two-way all the way up here to our oil and distillation stuff. I did take out the iron and steel one that I had down here because it's kind of getting in the way of our stone area, which needs a lot of love. We need to make a whole lot more of the stone quarries because we just cannot keep up. I'm sure once the initial amounts down here get full, it'll be better with the amount that we have. But once a train comes, picks that up, and takes it off, then we're going to need a lot more. So we're going to make more of these very soon to help with being able to make a bunch at one time. But today, and you'll notice that the box for the slag has moved down here. All of the iron has finally been removed, except for the bit that is stuck here with the copper. The copper is not moving at the moment. Everything for the steel has been removed. I just have this belt right here, so everything up there can continue to work while we do what we're doing. Part of the iron is already getting done. I have closed it off completely from inputting, so we will be letting it run out and just trying to keep it to where we don't have to do too much work with removing all of that and then moving it somewhere else. So I took a look at our current map, and this is basically what I have for now decided. Things can change, but I originally was going to do the processing of our metals into plates and mechanical parts and beams and things like that up in this area. But after taking a look at where we have already sprawled from our distillation area, I believe we're going to need most of this for distillation, oil processing, chemical stuff. So we're leaving this area over here specifically for that. I may even start cutting this back here so we don't have quite as much of that lake in the way. This down here is going to be our metal processing area, and, well, metal is this way, stone is this way. So anything that has to do with stone, we're going to do on this side. Anything that has to do with metal will be done on this side. So when we start doing the gold and the lead and the niobium, those will end up going out over here on the other side of the steel. So we'll just have to keep expanding that way. And then as we need to, we can go down this way. Hopefully that'll be enough room. We may even have to, tear it all out and start over. Because if this mod, which I'm pretty sure it does, goes similar to the 248K of having arc furnaces and using molten metals, we're going to need an area this big just for producing iron. And probably 4 times this size for iron. Just this area right here. So, this is probably just an early game thing, and we'll basically, this track right here is going to be the split of processing. So down here and over this way is going to be where all of our raw to ingot processing will be. Everything from here over and down will be anything that has to do with stone. Anything from here over is going to be chemical based. And then we're going to start today with our semi-processing, I guess, which is we're going to start setting up these small assemblers here. Little baby assembler. It is that size. But we can make our wires with this. We can make our plates, our beams, and our mechanical parts with this. And that's what we're going to start on today, is setting up basically the same thing we did over here, but leaving a bit more room so we can build on to it. So we have copper over here, which is our first one. And remember, all of this here will be coming out soon. Oh, and I did forget on the whole map of what we're doing. This area in here, at least for right now, basically from here down and over, is going to be our power generation area. That will probably have to change. Not probably. It's guaranteed it's going to have to change. We're going to need to move this somewhere else at some point, especially when we get to reactors. Because I'm not going to do, as much as I enjoy the size that this solar stuff takes up, I'm going to eventually do reactors because I love reactors. I'm all for having some free shit now and then, but I also like explosives and things that can go boom. Anyways, so when it comes down to it, power generation will probably end up moving down into more of this area or over into this area, but at least for the time being, anything from this line of the water down to probably here, that basic area is where we're going to do our power generation stuff. And then science will be this area here, and then auto crafting will be basically this area here, because we've already got this area for auto crafting things. All of this will be coming out because that's what we're changing over today. And then circuits is going to be kind of its own thing along with the science, because both of them keep getting bigger and keep adding on. Typically you make green circuits, you use green circuits to make red circuits. I'm not positive that's how it works in here. We can actually look ahead just a little bit, but you've got electric circuits, you've got advanced circuits, which, yes, uses the green ones, and then instead of blue, we have pink, and it uses these three things. Do we not have... There should be a blue circuit still. I guess we can look actually at, because when I did 248K, there was blue circuits. So I'm kind of confused with the fact that it jumps to that EV one. So I'm wondering if for some reason it has a different name. And then there's also these processing units, which makes electronical parts. Maybe they did get rid of blue circuits. I'm not sure. It is weird that I haven't seen it in any of these recipes or a recipe for it. And I've gone, that one doesn't even use one. So we'll have to see. But I'm pretty sure that something in that EV one will take red ones. So we're just going to need to keep making the burnt green area bigger to make the reds. And then we'll have to make the red ones bigger, which means we have to make the green ones bigger. It's just going to have to keep compounding. Anyways, I'm going to quit running my mouth and start getting to work here. So we're going to pull up as tight to this as we can. And we're going to we want a dual-sided line, or a full line. So we want that. We want to be able to create a full belt, not just half a belt. So the idea we're going for is this. And I don't know that this is going to be too much or if this is going to be too little for that belt, but we will find out, and we will always, have better belts coming. We're on blue assemblers here, but we don't have the red belts yet, so red belts will be coming. And we'll just do this, and then we'll be pulling our copper in. And because it is right here, we're not going to bother with using the train for this part. We will just put one of these here. We're going to have to back this up just a bit here. And then it's going to come up, and we can pop this out, bring it up like that. Same with this one. Actually, this one's going to have to go up one higher. And then we're just going to bring this right on across, like this. And we have to be careful because iron is going to have to come through here as well at some point. Let's go ahead and just turn this one here. And we can bring it up tight underneath this. Get this belt going in the right direction. And I don't know why in the world I set this to iron. I know why I did it, because it was the first one, but it needs to be copper. No, wrong one. There we go. So now that will be our copper plates, which will just go like this. And we can bring power over from there, and we can set one there and one there, and then one here and one there. That'll take care of the whole area. and that goes fast enough that the yellow ones will be enough to do it, and that'll give us our iron plates. Now, for the iron mechanical, or the copper plates, and for the copper beams and copper mechanical, they also use ingots. But we know that the copper wires are going to use plates. So therefore, we know we're going to need another one of these for wires at least. And we also have to be a little careful and not let the bots do too much of this. Well, it can do everything else. We just got to be careful with our inserters because we don't have circuits running at the moment. We need to get that dealt with, and that's probably going to be the next thing that gets done. But this is going to be for the copper plates for the copper wire, and then what we'll do is, I'm thinking we'll run this out and back this way, and then it'll go into another one that is here when we get rid of the iron right there, and that'll be where we start making the copper wires. So basically this will all get turned around and go that direction, and then come into, and I can go ahead and paste the first part of this in here just so I remember what it is that I'm doing. And because this is 1 for 1, we're not going to need the other. I'm pretty sure this is the same 0.5 and oh no, it's actually twice as fast. So we can either do 2 of these areas for 1, or we can do one that's twice as big, and we'll probably end up doing 2 for 1. So we will have to put a splitter here, so then that will go up to the next one, and I will probably just go ahead and rip this iron one out of here pretty soon, because we're going to need to, and I actually was going to do the mechanical parts and beams above this, but I'm thinking that we would be better off starting a new area here for doing the beams and stuff, because we know we're going to need a lot of wires. So there's a good chance that this part right here is going to have to be duplicated again up to this point, and that's going to be the top of our processing area. So I think we're going to go ahead and put one of these here, and then we can run this over, and we will probably need to run a second copper line over here, but then we can go ahead and paste in another one of these, and I'm going to do it probably here, and this will be for our mechanical parts, and this one will be for our beams. We don't really go through a lot. This area here was able to keep up with what we had, and that was only 5 mechanical parts and 5 for beams. This is going to be 14 for mechanical parts and 14 for beams, and they all run faster than what those over there did. So I'm pretty sure this should be good for that. Excuse me, I gotta turn these damn bots off. Okay, so now we're gonna change this over to mechanical, so then we can copy that and paste it over all of those, and then we can do this, and we can copy that one and paste it over all of those. Alright, so that'll be the 2 areas for that. And then for the plates, we're going to bring them down like this. And then the wires, which, oops, messed that up. Wire. Go ahead and get that changed. And then these will bring down here. And then that'll leave us another line right here that we can bring another thing of copper wires down through if we need them, which I'm pretty sure we're going to. And we can always put at least one more on each of those. And this is just a starting thing. I'm sure that this is going to have to grow bigger at some point, but it's just a layout of what I'm thinking currently. And then for the iron, we had basically the same thing here, and cannot stop coughing tonight. We basically had the same thing here, a lot more plates than what we did the beams and mechanical. So we will basically copy this entire area and paste it in like here. That'll be the iron area, and then we'll paste another one in over here, and that'll be for the steel. So this will be the basics of our processing area here. I still have to, get rid of that and fill in the other stuff. I'll finish up the copper area and then copy and paste it over, but I just wanted to get this in here to show you guys what I'm going to be working on. And now we can go ahead and take our turnaround here out. And we'll move that down this way somewhere. And then we will have our train stations for all of this probably come in up here, even though I was originally thinking I was going to run them down this way to get to this line. I don't think that's going to be the best way to do this. I think it's going to be better to run them up and then have a train line basically come up through right here and have our pickup area for all of this stuff here up here. So I will work on that and show you guys what I end up with in the next one. But this is the basics of what I'm going to be working on here. I am going to go ahead and supply glass over here to the circuit area, because I'm thinking that at least for now circuits are going to be somewhere in this general area. So I am going to go ahead and run the glass and ceramics from down here up and put a train stop in over here so we can get the circuits working, at least for right now here, until we tear that out and move it. But I'm pretty sure wherever I put the train stop, it's going to stay there. It's just going to be where we actually make these is going to change, because the copper wire is going to be sent in now instead of made right there. And that is also going to have a train stop for the plastic, so we can finally get the plastic brought in from over here, So hopefully in the next video we will redo the circuit area here, and then we can get started on changing a lot of this stuff over to run off of our train line rather than running off our main line. Redoing all of it with the new assemblers and the new inserters, which we need the circuits to be able to do that. So the circuits do have to come first. Most of this will probably just be, we'll kind of use it as a blueprint of how we set them up, but they're going to be changed dramatically in positioning and stuff like that, because we have learned that furnaces are needed for multiple things, so we definitely need to put the regular furnace close to the steel furnace, which needs to be close to the electric furnace and the boiler. And I think we might have needed it for one of those as well, things like that. Same with the tanks, we need those for other things. So we need to kind of pair those things up together. And we may even make a dedicated area for pipes, which I don't think we'll do over here, because they have to be done in regular assemblers. I think somewhere over in this area we're going to set up a dedicated area for making like the pipes, the engines, the electric motors. I don't know if we're still going to need the steam engines or not. I know we need them for one of the sciences, so we'll definitely need it for that, but I don't know if we need it for anything else going ahead. And if we only need them for the science, then we will actually put the construction of those into the science area. So rather than having the copper mechanical and steam engine come in from this way, they'll come in from this way, and we'll just make the steam engines in kind of that area there. Anyways, I'm gonna finally shut the hell up. hopefully in the next couple episodes, we will have most of this changeover done, and we can get back to normal progression and things like that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you guys in the next one.